Hey guys, what's up and welcome back. Quality Shot Tennis. Today we've got Matteo Berrettini taking on Felix AUGER ALIASSIME. It is a match that's going on currently going on in Hamburg. Excited to call this one. Sorry, actually not in Hamburg. It's going on currently at the Swiss Open in Gstaad, but yeah, excited to call this one between two players that are very established at this point. Hopefully you guys are doing well. Let me get everything kind of set up here. Get everything set up. Right, I'm going to be doing play-by-play is back, so I'm going to be doing a play-by-play at Wimbledon. We were not able to do play-by-play, but I am going to be able to do the play-by-play. Here we go. Getting everything ready and set up. How's everybody doing? It's AUGER ALIASSIME currently serving at 30 love at 1-0. 1-0. These are both players that have had a career high of world number 6 in the past. They're not there at the moment at all, but they have been hot. They've been high ranked in the past. All right, here we go. Two players that have big serves, but can struggle sometimes off the backhand. You know, they're fairly they're similar in some ways, you could say, but they also have their differences. Matteo with a much bigger forehand. Felix probably having a little bit. Matteo is having success on the grass courts. We're back on clay though, as Felix finishes a point up at the net. It's 40 love. Yeah, let me know in the chat who you think is winning this one. We're currently on change of ends, but that Ted's 4-2 for Berrettini. The last time that these two played was in Cincinnati in 2023. FA won that one in 3 sets. Nearly all of their matches have been very close. In fact, 4 of their 6 matches have gone 3 sets. And the other one, the first time that they played was in a final in Stuttgart, which was 6-4, 7-6. It was 13-11 in the second set tiebreaker. So 5 of their 6 matches have been incredibly close. The only one that wasn't was a match in Cincinnati in 2021, which was straight sets for Felix. But all of their matches have been very, very close between these two. So that's something I'd mention. Starting from the next game, I will be doing the play-by-play. There is some exciting news. I'm going to be heading down to Atlanta Open over the next, hopefully over the next several days. That'll be starting tomorrow, and I'll be going as media for the event, which will be super fun. Which means I will have a chance to do a lot of different things, but give interviews to the players. QualityShot also had this chance at Wimbledon, which Faison and Ash and other people at the event were able to ask questions to the players, even Alcaraz, Djokovic, Paolini, Rybakina, and other players. So it's definitely definitely exciting that I'll get that chance at Atlanta. And Atlanta, Shelton is playing. Also, TFO is playing. And yeah, a few players are playing. I'm happy to be doing the stream again, though. Again, especially a play-by-play stream, because the ones that I was doing with for Wimbledon with David were very fun. But it's always good to have be able to do play-by-play as well. Felix, of course, did have success on clay this year, where he beat Casper in straight sets earlier this year and then reached the final of Madrid. Very depleted, weird draw, but still managed to get through that one. Berrettini with the serve here, out wide, forehand of Felix, the forehand of Berrettini, backhand of Felix, cross court, the backhand of Berrettini. Felix steps around, hits a forehand, the forehand slice of Berrettini, that goes wide. That goes wide. It's love 15 for FAA. Love 15 for FAA. How's everybody doing? Everybody joining in? Appreciate you guys. We're getting started here. It's love 15 for Felix. It's a match between two big names. Like I said, their matches have been very close. It is Berrettini who's leading the head-to-head, but their matches have been very, very close. In terms of playing on clay, by the way, these two have never played on clay. It's their first clay meeting. Their last 4 meetings have been on hard courts. Their first 2 meetings were on grass courts. So, in 2021 Wimbledon, they played in the quarterfinals, and Felix won the first set, but Berrettini won the next 3. Of course, he was the finalist that year. I do tend to think that if Felix managed to win that match, he could have reached the final, maybe, because I did think that Felix was playing incredibly well on grass at that time. So I was hoping for better grass results from him this year, but wasn't to be. Felix still playing with some confidence, though. The other day he said that he still feels like when he's playing very well, he's competitive with Alcaraz. So, I mean, I'd like to see him show some improvements so he can back up a statement like that. But it is good to see that kind of confidence. His potential to be quite good is there. I mean, he has beaten Alcaraz, say, 3 times, even if Alcaraz wasn't really at his best then or on his best surface. But that goes out, and it's 40-15 for Matteo. Let me know in the chat your predictions for this match. I'm going to go with Matteo. I'm going to go with Matteo in because Berrettini quite likes clay as well. I think he likes these natural surfaces. He's had success. He's had success on clay and grass more than he's had on hard courts, at least if you look at his finals record and the titles he's picked up. But I'm going to go with Berrettini in 3 sets. I'm going to go with Matteo in 3 sets. Is my early prediction for this one. It's a good hold from Matteo. Gets to 2-2. Other players in this tournament, by the way, Tsitsipas beating Fognini earlier today, 6-4, 6-3. Hallis is also in the semifinals, Frenchman. Jan-Lennard Struff beat Thomas Martin Echeverry, so he's also in the semis. He's been having some good clay success this year, picked up his first title, Struff. Seems to like the clay, so that's good for him. So those are some of the other players in this tournament. Tsitsipas seems like a big favorite, knowing his clay success, and just his success in general. Is he in the top 10, Tsitsipas? What is his ranking? Steph is currently at number 12 in the world. It's quite unusual to see Steph not in the top 10. He was in the top 10 for 5.5 consecutive years, I think. Something like that. 5-6 years. So to see him out of the top 10 is a bit strange. There is still a one-hander in the top 10 with Dimitrov still just barely hanging on the top 10. That was thanks to Musetti. Musetti, because he was able to win his what was it, his round of 16 match, or no, his quarterfinal match. He kept Grigor in the top 10 because he was able to beat Fritz, who was not able to climb back into the top 10. But everybody is fairly close around there, from number 13 to number, let's say, number 6. Very, very close there. 3,410 points, Tommy Paul at number 13. Number 6, Demonorth, 4,185. So that's just a, let's see. That's just a, like, 700-point difference. And then if you go to number 12 in the world, Tsitsipas, it's just like a 500 points difference, even less than 500 points. So it's very close around that spot in the rankings when you go below Zverev, Medvedev, Sinner, Alcaraz, Djokovic, those 5 guys who have been kind of ahead of everybody else a little bit in terms of their results. After that, everybody is very close. So it kind of speaks to how there's better depth now in terms of the top 15 in the world. And it also speaks to the fact that none of these guys are, let's say, really stepping up to be that guy, outside of the Zverev, Sinner, Alcaraz, Medvedev, Djokovic, and really stepping up to that next level. Rublev stepped down. Forehand completely gets away from Felix, as we've seen many times can happen, especially when he gets out of position. It's kind of I don't know. You kind of worry sometimes about Felix's shot selection, or at least I do, and it's just a bad forehand error there. Was in no position to run around and hit a forehand. Sometimes I feel like he thinks too highly of some of his shots. Maybe. But that was not a shot I don't think he was very capable of hitting. That was a missed forehand return from Berrettini. A big serve from Felix, but a very makeable return. And Berrettini maybe went for it a little bit too much. Misses it past the baseline. It was up to the hill. Navoni is a solid player. He showed it today. Yeah, absolutely agree. Versus Rafa, of course, I was disappointed in the Gall losing to Navoni in an earlier round. Yeah. Yeah, that was a crazy match. I thought it was going to break the record for longest best of 3 match. Of course, without extended sets, but only at Olympics do they have even extended sets. So it almost broke the record for longest best of 3 set match. It was at 3 hours, 59 minutes. That was 4 minutes away from breaking the record. It's like Shang versus Mute earlier this year, 4 hours and 1 minute. We've been very close to breaking that record a couple times this year. But Nadal versus Djokovic in Madrid 2009 is just untouchable. How crazy that match was. Also, Novak versus Rafa in general. Just long, epic matches. Oh, wow. What a pass from Berrettini. Off the two-hander. Gets another break point. Solid stuff. Wow, he completely kept his ground, and that's some solid, strength and athleticism to just be able to hold your ground, not move back at all, and just in a defensive position, just be able to smack a clean winner. Very clean. But yeah, Navoni was crazy. Both players were playing really well. It was an amazing match. Rafa, he had some amazing volleys at the end. He was not at his best, maybe not at his fastest, but he hit some great volleys. He had some amazing forehands. He was playing really well. Navoni, very good too. So, yeah, Navoni deserves whatever his ranking is. I don't know what his ranking is, but number 36, yeah, I mean, he deserves that. Probably even higher in the live ranks. I don't know exactly what it is, but no, it's still number 36, yeah. So that's a deserved ranking, no doubt. Backhand to the forehand of Felix. Backhand again from Matteo. The forehand of Felix. We're going forehand to backhand off the ad side. And Felix misses that forehand. That forehand is just really letting Felix down. And that's why it's starting to feel like this could be straight sets, Berrettini. The fact that if Felix just doesn't have a forehand today, then it's going to be very hard to win this match. Hard to impossible if he doesn't have a forehand. going to be difficult. Breakpoint number quattro. It's advantage to Matteo. Rain is starting to come down, by the way, which is not a great thing, but it is coming down a little bit harder. Felix is serving. Backhand, cross court, hits the tape and goes wide. Rain very visible on the camera. By the way, let me know in the chat where you're watching from. If you are, let me know in the chat. Type it up in the chat where you're watching the stream from, this match from. Where are you in the world? Backhand to the forehand of Felix. Goes to the forehand of Berrettini. That's in the net. Advantage to FAA. All right, it's FA with a game point here. Rain is really starting to come down. Backhand to the forehand of Felix. Oh, does he make it right in the line? It's 3-2. Rain is really coming down, but hopefully no delay. It is a little bit different than if it was like a, a hard court surface for sure, or especially grass where it can get so slippery, but we'll see how long we play. The clay is definitely much more playable in the rain, but it is really noticeable in coming down. Simon Nagel lost to Navone 2-4 in earlier round, but almost every game was a deuce. The scoreline didn't really show how close the match was. It was a long one, but today I saw Navone is really solid. Yeah, the score... Yeah, Navone is amazing. I mean, this is one of those times where even in losing, like, you can tell just how good the opponent is who lost. This is one of those times. So, yeah, I mean, amazing performance from Navone. He actually went a step further than he did against Runa, which he actually did manage to get back to 5-5 against Rafa. So the next natural step is he finds a way to win the match. We'll see. But I've got my eye on Navone. He's a very, very promising player who's broken through this year. He had a match against who was it? I forget who it was. Maybe it was against Darderi. No, it was against Baez. Final of a 250 against Baez earlier this year, where he was not there in the final, to be honest, against Baez. Baez was just the better player, but he's been winning a lot of titles. Very good in finals. Baez, he's shown up. So I would just say that he's improved. He's consistently improving this year. He got to that final, didn't show up, but now he's been doing better recently. So he's a guy who I would definitely look out for, no doubt. Mumbai, India, love it. Love it. I was so frustrated in the golf for losing Navone, just messing up on the big points. Maybe it's not that big a loss. No, I mean, against the world number 36, it's not. It's always going to be a hard match, right? Backhand Felix, the backhand of Berrettini, kind of a 360 there, forehand to the backhand slice, kind of testing out that forehand of Felix. It's a very, very kind of off-pace shot to the backhand of Berrettini, but which Berrettini hits in the net. Wow, what a turn of events here. Now it's Felix who has a love 40 hole here. 3 break points for Felix. It was looking like it was going to be a good chance for Berrettini, but yeah, before you know, now it's Felix with these 3 break points, a good hold, and now 3 break points right out the gate. Still feel like Matteo is not below Felix's level here, but let's see if Felix can convert on these 2 chances. Because if he does, it doesn't matter. He's in the lead, and his tennis is only going to get better as his confidence grows too. See what happens here. Berrettini wants to attack that backhand as much as possible. No doubt. Felix is going to use the time on the clay to run around to his forehand. But that's a backhand that goes out. Berrettini needs to keep it to that backhand. 25 minutes of play so far. Both these players are at such stages in the career, don't really know what to expect next from them. Yeah, it's like that, right? Because they've shown big peaks, but they've also shown huge weakness and huge dips. Recently, more recently, they've been having worse results. So, yeah, I guess it is hard to know what to expect from both. In terms of Berrettini, I have no idea. I have no idea what to expect from Matteo. Both of them are not showing a real kind of consistency. I'm not expecting them to get back to top 10 form in the near future. Felix, I think, could down the road. I think he will down the road, in fact. But in the near future, I don't expect top 10 from either. But I expect I expect good results here and there from Matteo. And personally, I expect a bit more kind of slowly building form from Felix, especially when we get to indoor hard courts. Maybe some stumbles here and there, but he's such a good all-around player. Or that's not a good way to put it, but he's such a how do I put this? He's such a promising player, Felix, in a lot of ways. He's definitely got a great serve. He's talented. He's a great athlete. I know he's got a lot of weaknesses, but I just feel like Felix in the near future is going to slowly build out to do better, and I hope we see the same from Matteo as well. But Matteo seems to always show up on the grass courts. He's always going to be a big danger on the grass, fairly big threat on the clay. He's good. He's good everywhere. I mean, got to the semis of Australia a few years ago as well. He's got the big shots for a quick hard court, but I don't know. I need to see it from Matteo first. I need to see that kind of consistency and level from Matteo first before I really start to give it to him. He's also mentally, he's been a little bit questionable in his last few years as well, since that Wimbledon final at times. Obviously, 2022, a bit disappointing, got COVID, wasn't able to play Wimbledon. But it's been really weird. It's been really weird from both. 2023 was abysmal for Felix as well. After it seemed like it was going to be a promising year, but just not good at all. But I feel like it's been slightly better this year. It's a big match. It's a big match for both. Winner of this one will play Tsitsipas in the semifinals. So whoever wins, they're definitely going to be a huge underdog to make it to the final, but still would be a good result for either of them to make the semis here, especially going into the Olympics as well, which will obviously be played on clay. Felix is up to number 19 in the world with help from that Madrid run. He can't climb up in the rankings, but if he wins this match, then he'll be just 45 points behind Baez at number 18, who's also just behind Rune and Musetti, right ahead of him at 16, 17. So he doesn't climb up the rankings, but it would be a big match for him to gain points, in my opinion. And in regards to Berrettini, I have no idea where Berrettini is in the ranking. Number 70 in the world. Probably more important for him. Berrettini would be up to number 60 in the world. Wow. So he was 82 in the world to start off this week. He's 70 in the live rankings, number 70 Berrettini. And he would climb all the way up to number 60 with a win here. So if you're a Berrettini fan, you are That's got to be the biggest thing on your mind. The fact that Berrettini has a chance to climb up in the ranks. Backhand cross court, the backhand of Felix, forehand of Berrettini, the forehand of Felix, forehand of Berrettini, the backhand of Felix, forehand of Berrettini, backhand of Felix, forehand of Berrettini. That goes out. 40-15 for AUGER ALIASSIME. Felix has more of a mental issues. I don't think he'll do much. Matteo can still have those big runs in tournaments when Fit only loses to top players. I'm not so sure it's about the. I mean, even when he just started coming back, like, he was fit, but he was still losing matches I felt he had no right to lose. Like, I just remember him leading 5-0 versus Mackie McDonald and Indian Wells, maybe, and Berrettini completely let go of a lead there. I don't have that confidence in Matteo. I do think Matteo is quite good. At his best, we'll see if his best is behind him, but at his best, he was insanely good at majors, not so good in masters, but insanely good at majors. A staple for reaching round 16's quarterfinals. Now, can he get back to that level is another question. But Felix is 23 years old, and he's still got a lot of time ahead of him. Now, am I as confident in FA as I was when he was on a 60-match win streak? No. But I put more confidence in FA getting more consistently doing big things down the road than Berrettini. That's just my opinion. Berrettini has shown it in the past more than FA, but that's also in the past. And he's also older than Felix. And Felix has shown promise, like when he led with a match point against Medvedev at the Australian Open, when Medvedev was also playing really, really well. He pushed Rafa to 5 sets at the French, the way he played against Casper in Madrid this year. His 60-match win streak on indoors. Like, he's shown that promise. So it doesn't look good at the moment, but, things in tennis can change so fast. He is up to number 19 in the world, which, if you're not the 19th best player in the world, you must be doing something right, Berrettini is still much lower in the rankings, so that's just my opinion, but I did mention earlier on stream, but I will be going to the Atlanta Open as media, which is super exciting. I'll be able to interview players and do that stuff, so fingers crossed for all of that, but I'll be hopefully starting tomorrow. That's the plan. So frustrated with Nagal. Yeah, both these players are such stages. Berrettini in 2021, when he was fit, only lost to Novak in slams. He's been pretty good when fit. Well, yeah, I'm just saying, like, I think that was maybe in the past. We'll see if Berrettini can find that level again, But I need to see it first. Felix obviously had a very, very, very lucky draw in Madrid, but that match against Casper at least made you feel like, okay, he was playing really good tennis to get it done anyway, because Casper had just reached the final of Monte Carlo, and Felix just completely outclassed him on clay, which wasn't really supposed to be Felix's best surface at all. So anyway, big match for both, I think, no doubt. Match both would deeply want to win. Let's see who gets it done. 2 former world number 6 in the world players. That forehand gets away from Matteo, hits the net, and goes out. Berrettini needs to find that consistency and placement off the forehand. He's letting Felix play a little bit too much. He should be in control of Matteo. Felix is having a little bit too much of a good time at the moment in this match. I have a feeling Felix will become a journeyman. He's hardly done much at slams. I mean, listen, Snail, you might be right, but I have to disagree with he hasn't done much at slams because Felix reached 4 quarterfinals, major quarterfinals consecutively, like 4 quarterfinals in a row. Felix reached 4 quarterfinals in a row. He reached semis of U.S. Open. Like I said, he went close 4 sets with Berrettini at Wimbledon. If he wins that match, Felix, I think he reaches the final of Wimbledon, in my opinion. Both of them I thought were 2 of the best grass players in that tournament. I mean, you can say what you want about Felix now, but in 2021, the way he was playing on grass, he was playing absolutely amazing. He's kind of lost that confidence after losing first round a couple years against Cressy, but I would not. I don't know. Felix has been definition of inconsistency in his career so far. Let's say that, and it's been when he's been poor, he's been very poor, and it hasn't been that great recently, but. He has had some promising things recently, and I still think he's got more time than Matteo, so I'm still giving him a little bit. Myself, I've seen Felix at times and gone, wow, but I've seen him mentally collapsing in slams way too often. That was 2 years ago, though. Yeah, I just think, I mean, listen, he's still young, though, so, but Berrettini, his prime that we're talking about was when he was like 24, 25 years old, 26 maybe even, I don't know exactly his age, but yeah, he's 28 years old. So that was like him at 26. Felix, that was him showing his promise at 20, 21 years old. So I'm not here saying that Felix is going to be part of this Cinderella grass. Like I'm not saying that at all. It's a joke. But I am saying that if we're comparing the two, I would be less surprised about Felix doing more consistent big results down the road. Because it's a young guy showing his promise, you know? And he's shown lots of it. Whether you're annoyed at him at his worst or not, or annoyed at his recent results recently or at his weaknesses, and there's so much you can point out with Felix, trust me, but like there's a lot of weakness there, but there's a lot of strengths too, and there's a lot of promise that he's shown, so I tend to look at more of that. Serve here, Matteo. That's a good serve down the tee. Goes 4. Now we're at 4-4 in the first. We're close on serve. Well, it was 3 hours 59 minutes in the Rafa match, so obviously we're gonna go another 4 hours here. 37-minute long set so far. Here we go, 4-4. The Canadian to serve. Big battle. It's a battle of confidence, right? Whoever wins, I don't think either player would be that disappointed about losing to Tsitsipas in the semis. They both will be disappointed if they lose here, and they both will be very excited if they win, as far as I'm concerned. Berrettini more recently reached the final than Felix. He reached that grass final in Stuttgart, I'd like to say. Yeah. Beat Musetti 6-4, 6-0 to show how well Matteo was playing. Draper just playing too well. But beat Safulin. I mean, he's good. Beat Duckworth. Safulin reaching Wimbledon quarterfinals last year. He hasn't had a great season, but good serving from Felix, gets the 30 love. Berrettini obviously losing a very, very high-level match to Yannick at Wimbledon. He's one of the best on grass. There's no doubt about it. So, listen, if you're talking about, like, last thing I'll say on the topic probably, but if you are talking about momentum at the moment, Berrettini has it. He always has it. After grass court season, at the moment, he always has it. But I'm just thinking about in general. In general, I tend to think maybe Felix down the road might have more consistently big results. And I tend to think that Felix can also play well on grass. I just don't know what's going on with him recently. It's been very disappointing. I mean, very disappointing to see him not show up on grass at all. One of the most disappointing things to me in tennis in the last few years. First round losses. Just 2 straight first round losses after real potential shown by Felix. Been disappointing. That backhand goes out, so it's 5-4 for FA. de Minaur with such limited weapons is doing so well, whereas Felix, who has shown good potential, struggling. The beauty of tennis. Yeah, exactly. Definitely. Yeah, I mean, de Minaur, yeah, very, he's maximized his game. There's no doubt. Yeah, absolutely. Limited weapons to hurt players. That was what a lot of people were saying back in the day. Like, oh, he's fast, one of the fastest, but is he going to be able to, consistently go deep at big tournaments and be able to beat top guys? Look at what he's been able to achieve. So, yeah, talent maximizer versus Felix, who just hasn't been able to make it. So, you can never predict an Alex de Minaur. That's all I'll say. You can never predict an Alex de Minaur. An Alex de Minaur type, you're just not going to be able to do it. I mean, maybe occasionally if you get real lucky, if you try, you might be able to do that. But it's usually one of these guys who you point out and it's like, oh, I mean, they might be struggling with some things, but man, they're talented. They've got weapons, and I see a will to improve. And those are usually the things you look at, like a Yannick Sinner type. This guy was struggling with like everything, his serve, his variety, with his fitness. But man, you looked at his strengths and his talent, and you're like, man, this guy, and his will to improve, and you're like, man, this guy could be something. Even though you can look at this and this and this. Yannick Sinner, like he's a good example of a player who you can point out and be like, oh, they could be good down the road. de Minaur, harder to say because they don't show those, like, it's not as obvious, right? That they have that potential to be world number 6. de Minaur is world number 6. Shout out to Alex de Minaur making it to world number 6. Just that. That's the reality we're in. Alex de Minaur is at world number 6. It's pretty awesome. Monfils, by the way, number 30 in the live ranking. So shout out to Monfils as well. He is. I didn't realize he was that high. I kind of thought he fell down a little bit. I thought he was like number 40. It's pretty good. Looking at what else is going on. Runa's at number 17. Musetti is ahead of Runa. Hugo Humbert, my guy, he's at number 15. Dimitrov, number 10, holding it down. Casper at number 9. Let's get him higher. Hurkacz at number 7. I predicted Hurkacz for a year-end top 5. If he does that, then, I mean, he could be number 6. I mean, de Minaur is at number 6. He could pass him. I don't know. Zverev has some points to defend, I guess. U.S. Open quarterfinals. He won like 2 500s at the end of last year. So he could maybe fall down, but Hurkacz would have to win like 2 Masters or something. Outrageously good forehand strike there from Felix. That's what I'm talking about. That's some potential from Felix there. He's got the talent, man. He just needs that direction, that coaching. I think he's split with Tony now. So he's doing some things differently. I mean, outrageous athleticism, open stance, sliding into a forehand passing shot. It's 30-all now. Big moment as Berrettini goes for a big booming serve. We'll see if he gets it. We'll see if he gets one. Is it FA who takes this first set? Big forehand return, but it looks like it fell just long. 40-30 for the Italian. I would have never imagined de Minaur would get to number 6. I even thought top 10 would be hard. Yeah, exactly. I had the same thoughts. I said at the end of last year that I would really watch out for Alex de Minaur as somebody with a shot to break into the top 10. But I didn't expect world number 6. I never did. Never did. Not once until he's reached it now. I didn't think it was possible for him, to be completely honest. But it's like Medvedev, man. I didn't think Medvedev would have any chance of doing any of what he's done. I remember looking at I remember taking like an hour and a half looking at all the possible potential players that could take over from the big three and start winning slams. I was like, okay, who is at least even possible? I was literally writing a list of players. I went to Medvedev. I hadn't seen him play that much. This was like late 2018, early 2019. Went to Daniil Medvedev. I was like, okay, is Medvedev one of these guys that has a chance at winning slams and getting to world number one? I looked at Medvedev. I was like, man, this guy plays so weird. And it was literally just that. This guy plays so weird. It was before he fully figured out his tactics too. I was like, there's no way. Yeah, he's out. Like within 30 seconds of watching his highlights, I was like, he's out. He plays so weird. What is this guy doing? Literally, like, I was like, there's no way. I just crossed him off the list, like right away. It was right away that I crossed him out. I remember it well. Just these like octopus-like swings. I was like, this guy's out. But he figured it out. So tennis is an unpredictable game. It's a nightmare for people like betting. Forehand of Felix. Forehand Berrettini. It goes inside out. What a rally here. By far the best of the match. Huge forehand. Oh, Felix into the net. An incredible rally there between the two. As we get to 15-all. Almost feels like Rune and Demonor have changed positions. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Yeah, Holger and Alex have completely changed positions. Huh? Holger is down the rankings. Demonor is kind of a next gen. What is he, like 25, 24? That's like Tsitsipas age. How good would it be to see Alex de Minaur win a slam? I don't think he will, but that would be kind of crazy. Wherever he's at right now might be his career peak, but it's still pretty good. Much higher than anyone expected from him. He's got nothing to lose at this point, to be honest. That's a backhand slice that would do much more damage on grass than clay from Berrettini, but still, it was good enough there. 15-30. Swap positions, yep. Medvedev, yeah. Daniil is hilarious, man. We need a Daniil Medvedev. He's a wrench in the gears. This guy just loves causing chaos. He loves causing chaos. Whenever you don't expect him to win, he wins. He beat Sinner at Wimbledon. Nobody expected it. I kind of had a bad feeling about that match. I'm not going to lie. He was playing really well, Medvedev. I kind of had a bad feeling about it. I said that at the start of that stream too. I was like, I have a bad feeling about this. But yeah, I don't know. It's Medvedev just likes being unpredictable. It's a backhand slice, the forehand of Felix, inside in. Forehand chip from Berrettini. Forehand, Felix comes in. Backhand slice, lob, smash, put away from Felix. Very good. Berrettini giving Felix too many chances. It's just, I hate to say, but it's kind of low IQ tennis there a little bit from Berrettini. He needs to not give those kind of chances to Felix. I mean, a backhand slice lob was just never going to work. He's got to take his chances here, Berrettini. I'd definitely be happy if Demon wins a slam. Yeah, it'd be deserved at that point. It'll be very, very tough. Very tough. Sinner and Alcaraz are going to be very hard to fight through. And everybody said, it's like clockwork. It's like clockwork. Now everyone is counting Jannik out. And then it's really like clockwork. Jannik stock, like, it's the same thing. Jannik stock at the moment, not that high. Like, people are starting to say, oh, Alcaraz is the guy. He's going to win every slam forever. He really, I think, is going to win a lot of slams now. Now I'm of that opinion. But do I also think Jannik is going to win multiple more slams and going to be a constant threat and problem? Yes, I absolutely think so. I think Sinner's done what he's needed to prove that. Winning records versus everybody in the top 25 in the world. 45 of 49 consecutive matches won across all the surfaces. Wins against Novak from down match points as well. Solid in the semis of Australia. Amazing level. Just amazing level. Like 90% win rate across, and like over his career, like an 80% win rate. I mean, Jannik's done what he's needed to show that he is unbelievably good. He's reached world number one. He's beating Carlos. He's like not even biased. Like Jannik's done what he's needed to to show that he's like on that next level. See, on Alcaraz's level for a long time, like people have connected me with Sinner. For a long time, I have stated, even when Sinner was doing much better than Alcaraz, I kept saying, I think Alcaraz is going to be better than Sinner. I'm not one of these guys that says Sinner is going to be better or as good as Alcaraz. He might be, but in my opinion, no. Does that mean he's not on the next level? No. Sinner and Alcaraz are both these guys that are at the top there, and I really mean that. They're going to reach many, both of them, Grand Slam finals. My issue is that Alcaraz seems to be miles better in the 5-set matches than Sinner is at the moment. Can Sinner win some of them? Yes. He's going to keep improving at it as he's improved in every single every single part of his game and in the sport. But Alcaraz is still better in the 5 sets. So that's going to be one of the biggest factors. But I don't think anyone is counting Sinner out. If they are, they have no idea. Yeah, I've seen a few people now just be like Alcaraz is going to take over the game and Sinner is just going to be left to the wayside. It's not true at all. It's underestimating Sinner. I've already seen that. A lot of it is online discourse, but I've seen some of it in person too. So it's like just people saying like Alcaraz is going to win everything now, and it's just like he is going to win a lot, but Sinner's a problem. Also, whoever the next guy is a problem too. Whoever it is, Jakub Mensik could be a problem, or it's like some 14-year-old kid from Tunisia who nobody has ever heard of, who's like the best player ever, who is gonna come up and do his own thing. So it's just gonna be interesting to watch. But I do agree overall, to kind of sum it up, I do agree that Alcaraz at the moment is, in my opinion as well, gonna win so much. But does that mean that Sinner is not of that kind of level where he's capable of beating Carlos and winning slams, and that he's going to be a problem for the next 15 years, a huge one? No, I think that they will both swap world number 1 positions and that they will both win slams. Sinner can win between 5-10 slams. Yeah, I fully agree. I used to put Carlos at like 13. That was my prediction. At this point, I'm starting to think he's going to break the slam record, maybe. I don't know. It's impossible to make a prediction at this point, but it's going to be fun to watch. Alcaraz has so many things going for him at this point that it's almost hard to go against him. The one thing, his biggest enemy is going to be his body, in my opinion. His biggest enemy is going to be his physical health. So hopefully he stays healthy, and then let's see how much he can win. But winning slams is not an easy game. There's going to be a lot of challenges down the road. So before he does any of that, like Novak, he went through so many hurdles, like Rafa, like Roger. So there's going to be a lot asked of Alcaraz. 13 might still be my best guess, but I don't know. It's really hard to say at the moment. It's up, Cedric. Doesn't count Sinner out, as you know. Yeah, exactly. Slam record, chill out, Anthony. Yeah, I don't know. If I'm making a best prediction, I don't know at this point. Like, what do you predict? Like, I can imagine like eight slams is a lot. Agassi, Lendl, McEnroe, they're absolute legends of the game. They have 8 slams, and winning even 1 slam is just a mammoth task. So it's not just like you do and then it's done. Even all of Alcaraz's have been very difficult to win. Beating Medvedev, beating Tiafoe when Berra went 4-5 sets. Djokovic in the final. All of his slams have been very hard work. It's going to take a lot to win slams. So even 8 is a lot. I don't know. I have no idea what Alcaraz is going to end up at this point. I'm not saying it's a sure thing at all, but I am just saying that there's a lot of things to consider at the moment with Alcaraz's potential. He definitely seems like he has the level that's one of the best we've seen in tennis history. Now, can he maintain that level? Let's see. Can he grow on that level? The guy just turned 21 years old. So a lot of questions. It's going to be exciting to watch no matter what. But I'm very high on both Sinner and Alcaraz. I'll just say that. Novak was insanely fit. Yeah. Novak was able to take care of his body in ways that are just marvelous. That's what led him to this absolutely legendary 2023 year. Absolutely legendary. What a defense by Felix getting that back, but it seems like the point's going to be over here. Yep, smash put away from Berrettini. All right, let me know in the chat who's going to win this tiebreaker. What's going to be the score? I'm going to go with actually, I have no idea here. I guess I'll go. I guess I'll go with. I'll go with Berrettini 7-5. No, 7. Yeah, okay. Berrettini 7-5. Let me know in the chat. Let me see predictions in the chat. This one's a hard one. I'm not gonna lie. Fix up my camera here. Here we go. Berrettini 7-4. Okay, almost said that one, but all right. Let's see. I say Berrettini 7-5. Whoa, what a forehand strike from Berrettini. Does Berrettini have a nickname? Am I forgetting a nickname that Berrettini has? Raonic is the missile, right? Raonic is the missile. What is Berrettini? The hammer. Okay. I'm looking up the hammer Berrettini. Okay. That sounds about right. The hammer is pretty good. It's 1-0 for Berrettini. He's got a mini break. Kick serve. It goes out. Second serve here from the Italian. Oh, Felix stumbles a little bit. He's got to be careful here. Okay. Think he's okay. Kind of worried me for a little bit. Because he kind of slipped and then he then kind of slipped again, but Berrettini's forehand is outrageous. Berrettini's got one of the best forehands of the last 5 years. Whenever I think of Berrettini, I always remember this amazing match he played against Gael Monfils, U.S. Open quarterfinals. That match has aged very well, at least in my mind. Like, whenever I think of that match, I was like, man, that was some of the most fun I've had watching a match, especially because Monfils was playing at some of his best level and some of his most focused, and Berrettini was just playing outrageous. That was a chance for Gael to reach another semifinal. But Matteo is so good, was so good at his best. He's been having good results. I mean, his match against Sinner was it was one of the most, in terms of a 4-set loss, probably the most encouraging word, like the biggest amount of encouraging words I've seen thrown towards the losing player of a 4-set match I've seen. Because after Berrettini lost that match to Jannik, everybody was like, man, that was another level from both. And it was deserved for Matteo. It was a really tough match for Jannik. I mean, it was probably even tougher than Tiafoe versus Alcaraz, and Tiafoe won 2 sets. We're a minute away from the hour mark. Every set in the Rafa versus Navone match was over an hour. At the end of the match, it was 4 hours. Oh, real close to the net. Oh! What just happened there? What just happened? Oh my God. What did Matteo just do? This is gonna be on Tennis TV, bro. That was the worst. Okay, so people talk about worst misses and like really say like that was like people often say like, oh my God, that was one of the worst misses, and it's like not even that bad of a miss. That was one of the worst misses. Like that's a shot you have to make. It was a little bit tricky because it had a little bit of backspin on it from Felix. He was very quick to get it, so maybe Matteo was in the back of his mind a little bit worried that Felix was going to get the next shot too or whatever, and it was kind of spinning away from him. But Matteo decides to go for a redrop, which is very dangerous. He had an easy put away into the opposite corner. Now Matteo is challenging here. I don't know what's going on here, but that was outrageous. Matteo just completely missed a drop shot into the net. That was the worst shot I've seen all year, and it's not even a contest. What is Matteo doing with that? When I think Berrettini, I remember Oz Open quarterfinals Monfils. That was also crazy. But yeah, that was disappointing. But good for Berrettini. I remember feeling that being Monfils' last chance for slam. Monfils saying afterwards, I hope I can win one slam. That was heartbreaking. Yeah, I remember that well. And saying like, man, I can never go one step further in these stages. It was sad. What is Matteo doing? A failed challenge and also the worst shot. One of the worst shots I've ever seen in a pro match. I'm not going to lie to you. That was not great. Forehand of Berrettini. Forehand chip of FA. That's in the net. Better from Berrettini. Oh my God. Berrettini's just hoping they don't show a replay of that drop shot. Three apiece. Who's going to win it? Very up in the air. I do feel like it's an important first set. It's been a long one. I mean, I don't think we're going to have a Rafa Navone situation. Both these players need confidence. The first set is going to give them a lot of confidence. Both players feel like they should win this first set. FA had chances earlier in the set. He had triple break point at 3-2. Both players have had their chances. So, let's see. Whoever wins the set, I think, wins the match. I could be wrong. But I feel like whoever wins the set has a very good chance of winning the match. Very, very good chance. More than usual, because part of it is the confidence. All right, great ace from Berrettini. Gets the 4-3. Yeah, I wish Gail could have won one slam, you know. I wish Gail could have won one slam. There's a lot of good players that were not able to win a slam. I mean, Matteo is one of them as well. I mean, people connect Matteo with Kyrgios because they both reached back-to-back Wimbledon finals, but I mean, Berrettini was a better player than Kyrgios. I mean, Berrettini is on another level. Kyrgios had a ridiculously good and lucky draw to get to the final. I mean, a Wimbledon final is a Wimbledon final, but Berrettini really, I mean, this guy was consistency in slams. He underrated. For like 2019 to like 2022, Berrettini was that guy in slams. He was tough for anybody. It's 5-3 now for Matteo with a mini break. If I'm just looking at both of these players, I kind of get a sense of a higher intensity to win this match from Berrettini, but I mean, it's always hard to say. It just feels like Berrettini is so in it at the moment. But he did have those two nervy that nervy drop shot miss earlier. Let's see. Oh, it's terrible return from Berrettini there. It gets 5-4, shank. By the way, guys, please don't forget to subscribe to Quality Shot Tennis if you are new, and definitely check out all the Wimbledon interviews that we were able to give. You can check it out in the playlists in the playlist section of the channel. Interviews. All right, it's 5-4 here for Berrettini. Over an hour played now. Oh, and that goes out. He keeps giving away mini breaks. He's like Santa, just giving gifts. Berrettini's like Santa, just giving gifts. 5-5. What are you doing? I mean, both these guys were playing pretty well. Now it's been just bad from both. It's 5-5. Berrettini to serve. Let's see who can finish it off. It's just the lack of kind of confidence and the lack of conviction in these big moments from both. Let's see if Felix steps up here. He's got a chance here on this point to get another mini break as well. Second serve to work with. Backhand Felix, a lob way up high. Forehand of Berrettini. Forehand of Felix, inside out to the backhand of Berrettini. A chance for Felix here. Forehand. Oh, I think that goes long. Berrettini feels certain about it. Let's see. It is called out from the umpire. So it's 6-5 for Berrettini. It's that forehand from Felix. When it gets too close to him, I just feel like, I don't know. He doesn't have that control on that forehand. Six 6-5 for Matteo. Here we go. Set point. Forehand chip. The forehand of Felix. Backhand of Berrettini. Lob. Smash FAA. Put away. We're at 6-6. 6-6. Lots of long sets going on, huh? First Rafa, now this. Hey, what's up, Edwin? Hey, we got over 25 people on stream. How's everybody doing? Hopefully you guys are doing well. It's a 6-6 in this tiebreaker. Change of ends at the moment. It's been a weird set. I mean, both players have had some chances. Berrettini up 2 mini breaks in this tiebreaker, both kind of given away by himself. 6-all. Huge tiebreaker for both. Serve coming here from AUGER Aliassim. Backhand slice of Matteo. Backhand of Felix. The backhand slice Berrettini. Forehand of Felix. Forehand of Berrettini. Backhand of Felix. Cross court. Backhand slice Berrettini. Stays low. Oh no! Felix had it and he missed it. That's the equivalent of the Berrettini shot. Both with absolutely abysmal shots. That was a good slice pass, to be fair, from Berrettini. But Felix had to have that. Why did he go for that? You go for too much there. You blink. That was a blink from Felix. There's no way he had to go for that much. Goes for the cross court, just deft touch slice. I mean, listen, you'd get on tennis TV, Felix, but do you want to get on tennis TV or do you want to win the match? Set point number 2 for Berrettini. Back in return. Forehand Berrettini. Forehand slice of Felix. It's a good shot. Forehand Berrettini might be too good. Backhand slice, lob. Smash. Berrettini. Felix is there. Lob. No way! Oh, sorry. Got excited. Forgot I was on stream. That's how I react when I'm in front of the TV. Oh my God. How did that happen? That was a break in the simulation. How did that happen? Lob. Smash into the side of the net. Are you kidding me? That was a miracle that Felix is not down a set. We're at 7-7. What a crazy moment. Two very comparable players in lots of ways. Not to over kind of state that, because they are different players, but both with a big tiebreaker for their confidence. Oh, Berrettini just gets that forehand. I mean, I don't think he meant to make it that close. He did a forehand that was so close to the line there. Felix so determined to hit his forehand, even if he's completely out of position. But I guess his out of position forehand is still better than his backhand, to be fair. Even his forehand that's completely out of position, has nothing on it, is still better than his backhand. All right, it's a set point for Matteo here. 8-7. Oof. Serve from Felix. Very high percentage. Just kind of lays it in. a little bit. Forehand down the line, it's a good shot. Backhand slice Berrettini. Forehand of Felix is in the net. Slice managed to stay so low from Matteo. Matteo Berrettini takes the first set. Good composure after really he should have won the set on that 7-6 point, but good composure despite losing that point. Wow. Felix is going to be heavily disappointed, and Berrettini has the momentum. He's up a set. Once again, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you are new. It's Anthony Hirsch here. Anthony here commentating for the channel. And thanks to everybody who joined in for the streams at Wimbledon as well. We weren't able to do play-by-play, but it was still fun. Me and David streaming. I hope that we can do more joint streams a little bit on the channel. It is always nice doing solo streams because I can chat with you guys and we can do that, which is great. I think it's very cool. I try to be engaging with the chat as well, which is good. That's a good thing for solo streams, but I would like to do more joint. And yeah, I appreciate everybody who joined in for those, and it's good to be able to do play-by-play again for sure. That error at 6-6 cost Felix. That's what I'm talking about, the mental part of the game. Yeah, I mean, listen, Berrettini folded on a few points there early in the tiebreaker, but when it mattered the most, well, I can't even say that. He folded on that set point as well. So, but yeah, Felix, I agree. Felix a little bit not there mentally in the moments that matter the most. If he can't figure that out, then it's going to be tough. It's about the big points. Yeah, I don't know. That was a depressing tiebreaker for Felix fans. Hour and 10 minutes played in that set. Looking at the stats for that set. I mean, on serve, very solid. Has something to do with both their return of serves as well, but both very good servers. Both, wow, look at this. 4 for 4 breakpoint save, 3 for 3. They both had their chances. Winners to errors. I mean, Felix actually ended up better, kind of. I don't know. It's kind of arguable, to be honest. But about the same. Probably slightly better. If that's even accurate. This doesn't really seem accurate, but unforced errors is always very subjective stat. But anyway, it's a setup for Berrettini. Anthony and David streaming was like a journey which could take you to any to any destination. Yeah, that's true. We were talking about lots of random stuff. At one point, we were discussing TV shows, Game of Thrones. So we were talking about lots of different stuff. All right, I'll be back for the second set. Don't go anywhere. Here we go. Back to record this one. Lurking and working. I appreciate you, Cedric. So left 15 for FA. Let's see. I did say 3 sets. Let's see if it kind of comes that way and goes that way. But I think anyway, Berrettini being able to finish that off is a very, very good sign for him. Like it was shown there. I mean, Felix had 4 break points there in the set. So not being able to win that first set, even if he's able to take this set, it's gonna be tough for him to mentally to fully regroup. But let's see. Forehand of Felix, the backhand slice of Matteo. Forehand of Felix, the backhand slice of Matteo. It's in the net. 30 all for FA. This would be absolutely huge if he could get the break here, but it's looking a bit tough. Let's see. It's a good serve as Felix right on the line, that serve. Let me know in the chat, what do you think is going to be Felix's best ever career result at a slam? Let me know in the chat. Felix's best ever career result at a slam. Let me know. All right, it's 1-0 here for Berrettini. All right, I'll be back in 1 moment as well again. Backhand slice, the forehand of Felix. That's good. That's a very good shot. Felix is going to fight here. I think Felix is going to fight, give it his all. Like I said, I think both players really caring about this match a lot, and it's big for both their rankings. I think it's bigger for Berrettini, no doubt. I mean, a jump from number 70 in the world to number 60 in the world. I mean, that is huge for Berrettini. I mean, I'm just speaking about myself personally. When somebody is in the top 60 in the world, that's when I really start to think of them as kind of in the general conversation. Anybody outside the top 60, I feel like is still kind of, in my brain at least, working their way up to be in the conversation. Anyone in the top 60, like they are really at like kind of the top-ish of the game. They're kind of at the top of the game. At least that's how I've always kind of thought about it. Kind of caps off at 60. Like 60 and 70 in the world, for whatever reason, for me, I think of them very differently. Either way, very big jump it would be for Berrettini. FAA as well. I mean, he can't move up in the rankings, but he would get much closer to even number 16 in the world potentially. Like he'd be like 50 points behind or something, number 16, number 16, 17 in the world. So big for both of them in terms of their rankings. Ooh, a huge forehand strike from Berrettini gets him to 40-15. Or sorry, gets him to a win that game. So it is now or was it out? I think that was out actually. I thought it was in, but maybe it was out. Let me see this again. Okay, that must have gone wide. Felix wins the game. 1-1. Good serve. 15 love for Matteo. Yeah, let me know in the chat. What do you think is going to be Felix's best Grand Slam result? Best career Grand Slam result. Do you think that it's already behind him? He's gone to the semis of the US Open. That's his best. Do you think he's ever going to reach a final of a slam? Or do you think he's ever going to win a slam? It's in the net. At this point, my best prediction for Felix is a slam final. If I was to make a prediction, that's my best prediction at the moment. Is a slam final. Part of what encourages that prediction is the fact that he did reach 4 consecutive Grand Slam quarterfinals. I think the next slam result after that was a round of 16 loss to Rafa in 5 sets at the French. So he's shown some good stuff at the slams. He's not there at the moment. And I do agree with you, with Snahil in the chat saying about his mental game is not quite there. But my best guess would be a slam final at the moment. Please win, my dear idol FA. Nice. Love it. Love it. Moises in the chat. We'll see what FA can do. FA, very good, very, very young. This is a guy who was like the youngest player to ever win a challenger match, I think. Youngest player ever to win challenger match. I remember seeing an article about him when he was like 16, won his first challenger title. Like just turned 16. And I've been following him a little bit ever since then. Would have liked to see a little bit more growth in his game in the last few years than he's had. Kind of similar to Chapo, but is what it is. We're at 40-30. FA still in this game. Managing to be still in this game. He is also the second highest ranked Canadian man in ATP rankings history, of course, behind Milos Raonic, who reached number 3 in the world. Still think Raonic is heavily underrated. Serve here from Berrettini. Backhand of FA, forehand of Berrettini, the backhand of FA. Forehand of Berrettini, backhand of FA, backhand Berrettini hits top the tape, backhand volley. Oh, FA's there. Volley. FA. Oh, FA nearly was. FA so fast there. FA showing off some really heavily impressive speed there. I'll tell you what, if FA won that point, that was going to be by far one of the best points the whole year. I'm not over exaggerating. That was remarkable. That was Alcaraz like with some of those gets, but anyway, couldn't finish it at the end. It's 2-1 for Berrettini, who comfortably holds the lead. Hope he can get to a final. He has a better chance than Chapo. Yeah, I agree. Chapo is lost. Our man's is lost. Chapo is in the trenches. I'm excited. Chapo's going to be at the Atlanta Open, which I don't know if you heard, Cedric, but I'm going to be at the Atlanta Open the next few days. So excited for that and to interview some players. Should be great. And I'll definitely be sharing some content onto the channel if everything goes as planned. That was so close from FA there off that shot. Look at this. Felix was miles away from it. Some amazing hand skills. If he made that over, that was going to be one of the best shots. Felix, he had to give a smile. Both of them kind of have to give a smile. That was ridiculous. A great rally from both, but FA nearly with a great shot there. That's going to only give him confidence, but Zverev is also on court with a break over Zhang. What else is going on? Artur Fils with a win over Runa. Runa retiring in the match, but yeah, shout out to Fils. Shout out to Artur Fils. One of the most talented players, young players on the tour. in my opinion. Runa is also in the trenches. Runa is most definitely in the trenches. Our man is struggling. Jack Draper up to number 26 in the world. Draper's doing pretty well. I mean, the grass season definitely helped, but I'm hoping on this hardcourt swing that Draper can keep his ranking moving up. Upwards and onwards. Jack Draper should be a top 15 player in the world. If he finds his game, in my opinion, he should be a top 15 player in the world. We'll see about Musetti as well. Runa, FA. It's going to be really interesting. Korda. It's going to be really interesting to see where all the chips fall with these young players. We're starting to see how this next era is kind of shaping into place. I mean, it's going to keep shaping into place for the next 15, 20 years. That's how eras work. Things are going to keep changing, but yeah, it's exciting. It's an exciting time for tennis. And then you have players like Demnor, Casper Ruud, Tsitsipas, who are a bit older, but they are Medvedev, who are still just as much in the conversation. So Djokovic, clearly. Rafa is playing well. Shout out to Rafa, by the way. 4 hours long match, and at 38 years old, he still finding ways to win matches versus amazing players like Nabone. Rublev really falling down the rankings, by the way. Number 9 in the world. I think I had him at year-end number 8, if I'm not mistaken. I had him dropping a little bit. 10 the year off, but excuse me. He definitely is doing even worse than a little bit than I even predicted, to be honest, this year so far. I'd love to see Grigor keep up some amazing results. Unfortunate situation at Wimbledon. I would love to see him do something at U.S. Open or Australian Open. It would be like Grigor to when finally just everybody, when everybody finally counts him out at the slams for the first time in his entire career, for him to, finally make like a slam final or something. That would be the most Dimitrov-like thing I could possibly imagine. If he can manage to pull that off, most likely at U.S. Open or Australian Open, but we'll see. Backhand slice Berrettini, the forehand of Felix, forehand of Berrettini. The backhand of Felix, backhand slice Berrettini. The forehand of Felix, forehand of Berrettini. Backhand slice of Felix, forehand of Berrettini goes inside out to the backhand of Felix. Forehand is a drop shot. Oh, what a dropper. The hammer with some deft touch. 15 love. Booming serve followed by a drop shot out of your dreams. Mere inches in front of that net. If it's even inches. It's 30 love for Matteo. Forehand of Felix, the forehand of Berrettini. That's in the net. Forehand 15. I will say it is nice being able to focus on sports and everything going on with the Olympics and tennis, everything like that. Not having to focus on the politics going on in America. There's so many crazy things going on. It's just been an absolute just like circus. So it's been nice to. It's always nice to be able to just like escape into sports. It's been very good. Able to do that recently. Honestly, that's in the net. So it's 3-2 for Berrettini. Something a little bit less serious, a little bit more fun. It's 3-2 for Matteo. I didn't realize the name of this arena, by the way. Roy Emerson Arena. They're playing in Switzerland. What does Roy Emerson have to do? Isn't Roy Emerson an Aussie? It's kind of random. There's so many stadium names I don't really understand. Just in a lot of different ways. One of those being at the U.S. Open, Louis Armstrong Stadium. Louis Armstrong, absolute legend. Absolute legend. I'm sure there's some story. There is a story of why that stadium is named that way. But it would make more sense to me if it was like Pete Sampras Stadium or John McEnroe Stadium, you know? Something like that. But anyway, that's what it is. It's a little bit weird that's the name of a musician. I mean, Arthur Ashe Stadium makes complete sense. That's like the biggest stadium in tennis, I think. But what does Louis Armstrong have to do with... Berrettini 3 games away from the match and setting up a head-to-head matchup versus Tsitsipas. What is the record between Berrettini and Tsitsipas? I wonder. It's 3-0 for Steph. Not particularly encouraging for Berrettini. In fact, even if you include a qualifying of U.S. Open match where they played a third set tiebreaker, Tsitsipas managed to win that. Listen, that could be the whole story. Listen, if you play your first match, their first match of the U.S. Open was 3 tiebreakers. Berrettini versus Tsitsipas, second round of qualifying. Listen, if Berrettini wins that one, maybe that TED is 3-0 Berrettini, you know? That is as close as it gets. That's why every match counts. Even second round of qualifying, you never know. Because listen, these two could play in like a slam semifinal. Just being able to win that match could really give you that mental edge. That's the thing about tennis, man, that people don't realize. But yeah, Tsitsipas won. They played like every 2 years. 2019 Australian Open, Tsitsipas won in a very close 4-set match, 4-set tiebreaker. 2021 Rome, Tsitsipas won in straight sets. 2023 United Cup semifinal, Tsitsipas barely won in 3 sets. They've had only fairly close matches, but Tsitsipas has come out the victor. They would play again here. Meanwhile, FA has beaten Tsitsipas on 3 different occasions. Felix has actually beaten Steph pretty well. He's played Steph pretty well. All of their matches have been close, and FA managed to beat Steph in the final of Rotterdam pretty easily. Tsitsipas in an ATP 500 final is the worst combo of all time in tennis. Forehand comes in. He has a terrible approach from Berrettini. Just it's just easy to play with. Just food to play with for Felix. It was kind of a weird bounce, or Berrettini stumbled into it or something, but still. So backing out. Anthony thinking one day I will have a stadium named after me. Well, I don't think so. Not trying to go pro, maybe for something else. It's 3-3. 24-minute long set number 2. Hour and 37 minutes played. First serve goes wide from Berrettini. Second serve from Matteo. Forehand of Felix. That's in the net. 15-love. 15-love. Tennis is a tough game to want to play. Tennis is so physically just draining. I can't imagine, like, this is a big sacrifice for anybody who decides to go pro. I guess in any sport, but in tennis, like, so many injuries in tennis. It works out the whole body. It's so tough on the knees. Like, both my knees have slightly injured, to be honest, at the moment because of tennis. So it's tough. It's tough. You got to respect all of these players that decide to go pro. I mean, it's a great dream to fulfill, but it's not easy at all. Mentally, physically, just constantly traveling all over the world every single week, playing physical matches. And you have to figure out these matches by yourself. It's not a team game. It's tough. The highs of tennis are so high, but there's a lot of lows that you have to kind of work through. You have to find a way to enjoy it. If you find a way to enjoy it, then you find a way to kind of live a happy life in general. But it's hard. It's a journey. Anyway, it's 4-3 for Berrettini. He's 2 games away. That's the luxury of being able to serve first. All right, here we go. It's backhand slice, backhand of FA behind Berrettini. Berrettini with a cheeky forehand chip shot. Some cat and mouse there. Berrettini gets the win there in that cat and mouse rally. It's left 15. It's a good half volley initially, but even better touch from Berrettini. Just that little bit. It's a game of inches tennis, and just that little bit of depth that Berrettini got on that shot. That sweet shot, the little bit of depth behind Felix that he got on that backhand flick cross behind Felix is just the little bit that was too much for Felix. Second serve here from AUGER ALIASSIME. Forehand to Felix, cross-court. Forehand to Berrettini. That goes out. Felix nearly touched that before it bounced, but he didn't do that. I thought he did for a second. 15 all. Hour and 42 minutes played. Pretty long for where we're at in the match. Pretty much, if this goes long 3 sets, we're pretty much midway through the match. That would be like 3 hours, 40 minutes total if the second half's as long as the first half. Which would still not be as long as the Rafa match. I wonder where that Rafa match ranks in terms of longest best 3-set matches ever. Rafa's had a lot of them. Rafa, I think, versus Coria, I think it was Coria, went 3 hours, 46 minutes. Maybe it was Moya. I think Rafa versus Moya went 3 hours, 56 minutes. I can't remember which tournament, but it was like 2006. Rafa Novak went 4 hours, 3 minutes. What else? 4 hours, 1 minute. Shang versus Mute this year. These are some of the longest best of 3 matches ever. Djokovic versus Alcaraz last year, Cincinnati, 3 hours, 51 minutes. I mean, obviously, there's the Olympics matches like Tsonga Raonic, which was 25-23 in the third, and Del Potro Roger. But outside of those, which I don't really count because like they're the only ones in history. Like those are the outliers. Like, of course, those are going to be the longest ones. But of the best of 3-set matches, that's like 99.9% of the best 3-set matches, which is without extended sets. I wonder where that match ranks from Rafa today in longest best of 3 ever. I would say it's probably top 5 or top 10. Nearly got the record, 4 minutes away. 40-15, Felix with the serve. Misses it long. 40-30. (40-30) for FAA. That's a double fault. FA just giving Berrettini a lifeline, a rope to put him back into the set. And 6 points away. The Italian is 6 points away from beating Berrettini. Of beating Felix is what I meant to say. Berrettini is 6 points away from beating Felix, not himself. Forehand to Felix. Forehand of Berrettini. Forehand to Felix. Comes to net. Backhand pass. Forehand. That's too good. That's too good. Love the technique there from Felix on the volley. Managed to give Berrettini absolutely no chance there. It's advantage for FAA. Will he be able to just finally close out this game? FAA forehand. Berrettini forehand. FAA forehand down the middle. That goes long. Nope. He's not out of this game yet, Felix. I have a bad feeling about it for Felix. Let's see. Deuce. Serve from FAA. That's a great serve from Felix. Big reaction there from Felix as well. That's when you know you have a bit of a serve bot in you. That's when you know you have that serve bot in you. A little bit. It's when you know you have those serve bot genes a little bit in you. You hit a serve and then you just hands in the air. You know you have a little bit of it in you when you do that. Just hit an ace and then you do that. Usually that's after like a between the leg shot or something. No. Felix getting some confidence off the serve. 4-4. He escapes. Gets out of jail in that game. It's 4-4. See if he can let's see if he can do something in this game. Now that Berrettini had chances that he couldn't put away, but let's see. $15 love for Berrettini. Serving amazing. Matteo's serve is on it. Let's see if Berrettini can keep up this kind of form. These are the stats for these are the stats of the set so far. Good serving from Berrettini. Great serving. Look, I mean, this is just unbelievable from Berrettini. I knew it was good. I mean, not this, but look. 17 for 20 on first serve. 17 for 20. And we're at 4-4. It's pretty amazing. Felix doing really well, too. Neither guy has faced a break point, but Berrettini did have some chances in the last game. His serve is looking unbreakable at the moment. Felix is doing better in the winners to errors counts, to be fair. Although I don't think they're accurate, but backhand that goes in. Forehand slice, the forehand of Berrettini down the line. Backhand Berrettini of Felix. That's forehand the volley into the net. 40-15. Berrettini's serve was a difficult one for Sinner. Yeah, I mean underrated serve. I think it's an underrated serve. Very good. It's always been very, very good. And when he's getting such a high percentage of first serves in, like he was there, like he is here, very hard to deal with. I mean, they call him the hammer for a reason. It's not forehand, but it's also the serve. But everybody's got that kind of Achilles heel that you know, like their kryptonite. And it's the backhand more than anything for Berrettini. But, you know, can find ways around it. Felix forehand, high level rally here, backhand, the forehand Felix again. But that forehand is the Achilles heel of Felix sometimes, and it is here. Berrettini is a game away. That forehand has not shown up from Felix. Way too many unforced errors. Way too many forehand unforced errors from Felix when it counts the most. 5-4. Berrettini once again trying to get to 5-2 in this head-to-head. I'm going to step off. I'll be right back in a moment for this next game. right, guys. Berrettini is a game away. Let's see what he can do. I feel like for sure though, regardless of their head-to-heads, I feel like honestly, if one of these guys has the chance of beating Tsitsipas in the semis, I feel like Berrettini has the better chance. I feel like Berrettini has the better chance. He's excited me more in this match. He's excited me more in general recently. Played that very close match against Sinner at Wimbledon. Obviously, like if one of them is going to upset Tsitsipas in the semis, I feel like Berrettini has the better chance of doing so, regardless of their head-to-head. Or at least the stat of their head-to-head, which is 3-0 / kind of 4-0 for Tsitsipas, if you include qualifying of slams. That's a forehand out from FA, and it's again the mental side in these big moments. The mental side in these big moments. And it's why he was not able to get that win against Medvedev a couple of years ago in Australia as well. I mean, he's been exciting at times, but just unfortunate. It's just unfortunate that it plays such a big role in his matches. That's a better forehand though from Felix. Gets to 15-all. It's unfortunate when the nerve management is just one of the absolute key factors in a match. To be honest, or at least when it's for one player, he does so much else well, but the nerve management is not there. Backhand of Berrettini, forehand of Felix, backhand of Berrettini. Forehand of Felix inside out, backhand Berrettini. That's in the net. Berrettini should have done more of that backhand to get it over. He really should have. It's 30-15 now. Hour and 53 minutes played. Another long clay court match, potentially. If FA could escape this set. Berrettini is currently 3 points away from taking it, though. I think that's called in on the serve. Is it? Umpire really looking closely at this mark. It's called out. Okay. Umpire really taking a close look there. It's going to be a second serve here for Felix with a lot of time spent in between first and second serve, which is always a little bit dangerous. That's a double fault. I mean, I saw that from a mile away. You don't like it when there's a lot of time taken. All right, 2 points away here, Berrettini. Let's see if he can do something. FA could wipe away the chance with a big serve. Let's see if he can do so, or if it's Berrettini's time. That's exactly what FA does. Berrettini hits it into the ground. 40-30 for FA. Backhand slice. That goes out. Wow. Felix gets the hold. Great hold from Felix there. Really solid stuff. That serve is a great crutch for Felix when he is having to face big moments like that. Felix does seem a bit streaky as well. I will say that too. And with his confidence too. Confidence is a huge thing for Felix. When he's a bit streaky, his game can pick up, his confidence can pick up, especially in the context of one tournament. In my opinion, when I've seen it work that way. He was streaky when he won those 16 matches in a row as well. It's a little bit about the confidence there. His lows are low, but his highs are pretty high. And it's love 15 now out of nowhere. Berrettini was 2 points away there, which is always the scary moment. Love 15, see what FA can do. That's a great forehand strike from Berrettini. Highest level of the match yet. Highest level of the match yet. Nothing to do with this match, but let me know in the chat, how well do you think Rafa's going to do at the Olympics? We can talk doubles, we can talk singles as well. Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat, well, wherever you're watching from. YouTube chat, Facebook chat, let me know. How well... Oh, wow, that's another great forehand from Berrettini. That might be the difference today, is Berrettini just having the stronger ground stroke weapon in that forehand. But how well do you think Nadal can do at the Olympics? I think he can medal. I think Nadal might medal. I could see a bronze medal for Rafa. I could see better than that too, but I'm going to say bronze medal Rafa. I think gold medal doubles is not out of the question at all, to be honest. In fact, I'll make that call. I'll say gold medal in doubles and bronze medal in singles. That's my prediction for Rafa. Let me know yours. Oh, wow. Cedric, we have the exact same prediction. I was only just seen it in the chat. He'll win doubles, I think, bronze medal, singles. I have high hopes. I have high hopes as well, Cedric. Great minds. I literally did not see your comment. I said the same thing. There you go. Same thought. Great minds think alike. Hell yeah. 40-15 here, Berrettini. Forehand of Felix. That goes out. 6-5 Berrettini is a game away. Yeah, great minds. Listen, I mean, I don't see why to count Ralph out, you know. It's he does need to stay healthy. I mean, I don't think he wants to play a whole lot of 4-hour long matches, but if he can keep them relatively short and just get through 3 sets after 3 sets at Roland Garros, playing for his country, at the Olympics, you know, with that kind of also playing doubles, I think will help him, keep him lighthearted. Should be good. By the way, his draw, he has a great opportunity to get to another final. It's exciting to see when for a long time we weren't sure if Rafa was going to have a great chance to get to another final. It's his first semifinal since his Wimbledon semifinal where he withdrew against Kyrgios, which is crazy. So I'm glad, hopefully he's able to play this one. He's playing a player that I hadn't even heard of, I don't think, before this week, Djokovic, which is not Djokovic. Might be the closest we get to another Djokovic-Rafa match, but Djokovic. So, listen, I mean, that guy, to be fair, he has beaten some good players, or he's beaten some players that have beaten good players. He beat Thiago Monteiro, who took out Casper Ruud. He also beat Kotov. Got through qualifying. He beat Van Osch in the first round. So we'll see. We'll see. But Rafa with a good chance to reach another final. That'd be very exciting. The whole draw has opened up for Rafa, to be honest. 2 really good wins over Nadal, over Nori and versus Navone. Also beating... Well, I'm seeing this article. Rafael Nadal drops hint about withdrawing from Gstaad after winning 4-hour match. I hope not. Is that just clickbait, or what do you say? He said, I was able to hold physically until the end. Let's see how I am tomorrow. Today I'm alive and I'm in the semifinals. So that's super important. I can't thank enough all the support here in Gstaad. Yeah, well, hopefully he can play. 4 hours is definitely a lot on Rafa, no doubt. So let's see. I hope he can play that semi. That'd be very unfortunate. 2 semifinals in a row he has to withdraw. All right, 30 love here. Hey, what's up, Jake? Good to see you in the chat. Appreciate you joining in. 30 love. We got an interesting one here. First set tiebreaker was full of let's say not the best shots from both in the key moments. Berrettini with a horrific drop shot, a missed set point, which was a miracle by Felix that got that out of the way. But still, it's been a good match overall. We'll see if the second tiebreaker works out the same way. We know that these are two players that can struggle with confidence at times, so that can seep in the biggest moments. But hey, what's up, Naked? What's up, Naked Eyes? Good to have you in here. Hello, hello. Over 2 hours played. Yeah, I'm glad to be streaming. Listen, I'm glad to be able to do play-by-play too. So thanks to you guys for keeping it down and showing up for the streams during Wimbledon where we were not able to do play-by-play. But those were fun too. It was fun to do joint streams, me and David. It was good. And I was saying earlier in the stream, I will be at the Atlanta Open in the next few days, so definitely keep an eye out for that. The Atlanta Open starts tomorrow, so definitely keep an eye out for that. I will be doing that, posting some content on the channel with that, so it's super exciting. That's in the net off the return from Berrettini, so 40-30 for FA. Working, lurking. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Love it, love it, love it. Love it, love it. Can FA get out of trouble? Looks like he can. And he does. All right, let me know in the chat. What's your predictions for a tiebreaker? Who's going to win it? What's going to be the score? Whoever gets closest, get a shout out. I'm going to go with... That's a tough one, huh? Loki, I kind of think Felix might. I kind of think Felix might win this tiebreaker. I'll say Felix. Why not? I'll go Felix 7-5. I'm going to go Felix 7-5. Berrettini 7-4. Okay, Jake. Love it. Let me see more prediction in the chat. How you guys think this is going to go down? Let's see. Let's see. Wow, that was a very poor shot there from Felix at an important moment. Once again, goes down an early mini break here, which is not ideal at all for Felix. Not ideal at all. All right, hopefully it's looking better now. Apologies for that. Hopefully I'm coming in through a little bit clearer. Apologies for that. Hopefully it didn't turn a bit robotic there. Some technical difficulties, but should be cleared up now. Berrettini with some huge shots there. Huge forehand and being able to come finish it off at the net as well. Good stuff. 3-0 now. Berrettini up serving. Great stuff from Matteo, really clutching up here when it matters the most. Forehand to Berrettini at the backhand of Felix. Forehand to Berrettini, keeps attacking, keeps pumping away there with that forehand. It's 4-0. 4-0 for Berrettini. My prediction looks like it's going to be miles away. Looking like it's going to be miles off. 4-0. 3 points away from the victory, taking out FA to face Tsitsipas in the semifinals. 2 former major finalists facing off potentially in the semifinals of a Swiss 250. Serve, forehand to Berrettini. The forehand of Felix. That's way high and that's way long. 5-0. It's 5-0. 2 hours and 9 minutes into this contest. See, I appreciate everybody joining in. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, all that stuff. But yeah, hopefully you guys are enjoying the stream. Berrettini versus FAA. Felix with the serve. Big serve, backhand. Berrettini keeps hitting this 360 shot. Oh, what a touch from Felix. Pure survival instinct with some great touch off a pass that Berrettini had no right to hit. Berrettini keeps hitting a 360 off the backhand. I don't know if he's like, listen, he's got a fairly weak backhand, like relative to most top players. Like maybe he has to hit a 360 in order to make it easier on himself somehow. Like, okay, my backhand is bad, but if I hit a 360, at least it's like decent. Like it's a little bit better. It's a little bit easier for me. He's done that about 10 times in this match, and it's worked every time. 5-1. 2 points away, the Italian, the hammer. The Italian hammer. Here we go. Berrettini seeming to run away with this. Felix with the serve. Oh, no. What a return. Felix still got it. Back and slice. Back into Felix. Had the pass lined up. Oh, you can't believe it. Why did Felix move in so close after the serve? He wasn't expecting that return. You couldn't have, right? Couldn't expect that return, but still, you had to expect something. I mean, it wasn't a completely unbeatable serve. Just completely lost his court position. He did well to recover, but not well enough to win the point. And bad to miss that backhand pass. 5 consecutive match points, if he needs them, for the Italian to finish off this match versus FA and to reach the semis and get back to the top 60 in the world. Forehand big. Does he make it inside out? It was very close. Felix thinks it's out. The umpire also does call it out. Match still on. 6-2. 1 mini break saved, 1 match point saved. 6-2. 4 more. 4 more. To be fair, if you're making a case for Felix, just 2 of them will be on or let me think. Yeah, 2 of them will be on Berrettini's serve. 2 will be on Felix's serve. This is one of those 2 potentially. But that's going to go out. Matteo Berrettini, too strong, too solid, with a huge reaction. Gets it done in Gstaad, and he will take on. There's a nice handshake between the 2. He will take on Stefano Tsitsipas in the next round. Matteo Berrettini gets the win over Felix AUGER-ALIASSIME. Absolutely massive roars. And that's why I said this match means a lot to both. This match means a lot to both. There's a lot of kind of interesting stuff that comes. It's a big match for Berrettini after playing that marvelous match versus Sinner at Wimbledon, but losing in the second round. And just to build a little bit of confidence, even if he loses to Steph, Felix would have wanted the exact same thing, but he's going to be waiting. Hopefully on the indoor hard courts or the hard courts, he can pick it up. Wimbledon was disappointing for Felix. He's on another streak of, I mean, Berrettini was good today, but I hope Felix can keep picking it up because he's got to pick it up in the biggest moments. There's no doubt about it. Got down too early. All right, I appreciate you guys tuning in. I will be at the Atlanta Open. I will be doing content, so definitely tune in for that. It's going to be super fun. Very exciting. So look out for that on this channel. And yeah, I appreciate everybody joining into this stream. Very, very fun. 2 sets for Matteo Berrettini over Felix AUGER-ALIASSIME in 2 hours and 12 minutes. He gets done in 2 sets. And yeah, great match all around. I did look at the stats a little bit, so let me look at it just a little bit real quick as we finished up. But I mean, good serving from both. Great serving from both. Both saving all of their break points. It was 2 tiebreakers. But it was Berrettini who played the big points better. That's all it came down to. So Berrettini gets the win, and great forehands as well. Yeah, thanks, Cedric. I appreciate you. Thank you. Yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy your weekend as well. And yeah, I'll see you guys at the next one for the next match. And see you guys at the next one. Berrettini gets the win over FA. He will take on Tsitsipas in the semifinals of Gstaad.